Alrighto, we're going to have a look at some Outdoorsman packs. A few guys have been asking me about these things for a little while, and I've got Ben and Dennis with me that have also been running these packs for a little while. So they come in different sizes and shapes. I've got the long range. This is the one that I got over here. So they're an external frame pack, and it's a little bit modular. You can take your bag off, you can run a meat sling. There's a thing called a muley and some other little attachments. So I'll go through them all, go through the features and the breakdowns and how you can adapt these packs to lots of different situations. But these two guys here are the optics packs, and Ben's got it in the camo. This is obviously the Cody Brown. Main difference between the optic pack and the long range pack, there's a few things mainly in the bag layout. So frames and harnesses and waist belts aside, I'll just quickly run through what this has as layout. So on either side there's a little elastic pouch down the bottom. This one's just got some really basic small zippers on the front. There's not much going on the outside of the bag at all. Obviously you've got your gun carrying system or bow carrying system, which is the same on both. Moving up, another little small pocket on the lid, and this one on the long range you get a padded pouch at the very top, which is they call it for your 15s to go up on top. I find that really handy. I don't put my binos in there because I use a rig on there, but the bino pouch up the top is a handy little pouch to get to things, you know, kind of easily. Nothing on the sides on this one, just your carrying straps, your adjusting straps. So it's basically just a tube tunnel. There's not much going on the inside or in compartments and stuff like that on this particular pack, but it is a very thin material that's super strong. So find it excellent in that it doesn't hold water, and it just keeps your overall weight right down. So looking at the optics bag, what's the difference, Ben, with the main difference with that one?
Yeah, so obviously a smaller bag, but we don't have the top pocket here. We've got two underneath, two zippers, so that's in the flap up the top, camera gear, whatever. Inside we actually have two pockets that run the full length, so you could get a spotting scope in one side, tripod in the other side. Instead of your little elasticized ones, we've actually got lidded pockets. You get more camera gear or batteries or whatever.
More secure that way too.
And yeah, and then another pocket on the front, and then the inside is basically the same. It's just a big tunnel. So. And
yours has got compared to the Cody one, you've actually got more of a quiet.
Yeah, this is like a more like a lot more like your hunting gear. You know, it's that. Moving through the forest, you don't make quite as much noise. So
this is still fairly new. You haven't had that total saturation yet, like a bees water well, and it's backed. But that one where you haven't tested if it's going to hold a lot of water with that particular fabric just yet. So if you're in really wet environments all the time, I'd be tempted to just go with that and put some dry bags inside as safety. But it is lined. It has got a really good backing in there, and I reckon that's totally waterproof. We haven't ourselves tested that just yet though. Alright, spun around the business end of the deal, so you can see through the different series of packs they're still on the same frame. The bases are the same, the harnesses are the same, and the waist belts are the same. You got some really good features on these. They're nothing fancy. There's no there's nothing on there you don't need. There's no overly cumbersome kind of padding. It's all kind of no frills, but it is surprisingly really comfy even when they're really laden. We've just got back from a hunt. Dennis and I pulled out a Samba spiker this morning, and he was feeling it, but we kind of reckon there was about 50 kilos on his, and these things really can take a payload. So have a closer look at this harness. Okay, so one of the really good features about this waist belt is this little buckle here. So it's pretty clever. They've got a small metal container that basically pops off, and now that allows you to run this piece of webbing out, and then with this you can customize what you want on the side. So Ben will have a different setup to me, but if you've got your favorite knife or hatchet or something that doesn't just slide over, you can thread this through just like your belt. If you've got pockets, ammo pockets, pouches, lens pouches, all that kind of stuff, you can customize the waist belt to how you see fit. So I really like that feature. And moving up to the back panel, so the harness is attached to this. It's quite a nice system with the poly frame and the padded harness here. You're getting a nice suspension thing happening, and same down on the bottom, it's suspended within the frame. So when that's loaded up, this poly frame will flex and move with you, but it keeps all this airflow going. So there's nothing in behind here, all the air goes, and you just keep a really nice cool back. You're not overly sweating like, you know, when all the fabric packs touch you over the entire core of your body. So there's a bit of difference with the rifle scabbards on these two as well. Now with mine, you notice that when the bag is fully extended as it is now, so it's full, you can adjust here. So when there's less gear in there, the lid will come down. It'll look more like that in height, and you can move this down accordingly. Now the problem I've found with that is if it's not loaded and filled out, this comes down quite a way and your gun can get a bit tippy. So with the optics pack, that one, it actually slips through the pack, through this center pocket here and all the way through. So there it is, it's gone through the pack and down the other side. So there's a few good things. The pros and cons are that's really easy to get off and it's quick to get out. That takes a little bit longer, but that protects the rifle a lot more, protects the scope, especially if you can fall backwards or something like that. And it stops a lot of debris getting down into the top of the gun, so if you get light rain and all that kind of stuff. So I think, you know, all in all, that's a better system for the rifle carry. The bow, I'm not sure, because you can't really poke the bow through.
Yeah,
so.
no, I don't know how you put the bow on that one, but yeah.
And with both packs you get this orange flash, so Ben, you flip your one out there, that just comes out. That's on all of the packs as well, which is a nice little feature. If you forget to wear blaze or something like that, you can pack it on, especially if you're carrying a set of horns or something on the back. Or get shot in the back.
No.
So one of the key features with having the bag and the frame is that they separate. So when you're ready, say you've got an animal down and you've caught it out and you want to carry that out, you loosen off a few key tabs. They've got these little toggles that just key into the frame themselves, and that allows the bag to tip away from the frame. So you can run it like this as kind of a wedge, like a doorstop, drop your meat in, and then just cinch it all back down, and it's going to hold that meat tight in against you. Or you can back it all off and back the whole pack away from you if you've got a bigger animal. Like over here, kind of the biggest ones we get are, you know, red and Samba, but I know American friends over there, you know, cutting out the moose and all that kind of stuff. It just allows for different shapes, whether you've boned it out or whether you're carrying the whole legs out. It's going to allow for all different kind of shapes in there. So I'll grab one of these legs that we just harvested, and we'll drop it in and give you a look at a full Samba stag leg in there. Right, so this is one of the Samba legs that come out from this morning, and this is one packed into the bag. So you can see there, bag cinched out nice and tight against it, and because that weight's right up hard against your back, that's the heaviest thing in this bag by far. So it just makes for a really stable carry. Like, you're not getting that massive kind of wobble as you go. So yeah, that's the system complete. I'll break it down now and I'll show you a few other ways that this bag can be used. Right, so these are the frames broken down. You can see super lightweight polymer, nothing can go wrong with it. They're absolutely bomb-proof, these things. Harness, so this one's just got the meat sling attached. So that's the meat sling. I've got a bladder in this one, so it holds your bladder here. It's virtually a pocket for a bladder. And just like the bag, it can angle back, and then you can cinch it in close depending on the load you've got on there. So if you're making your second trip back in there to pack out, just break away the big bag and then start doing your run with the meat sling, and you can save a lot of weight and you still got your hydration intact. They also do this other cool bit of kit, which I use this a fair bit on my day hunt. So this thing here is called a muley. This is also made by Outdoorsman. It's sold separately, but this integrates with your frame. So with the same neat little keyhole clips there, you can just pop it out, that breaks away, and then you end up with the frame as well. But this actually opens up, and the shoulder straps come out, and you've got a nice over the shoulder bag. So when I go on some long range packs, recently in New Zealand I did it too. I had this clipped onto the back of my long range, and then I dropped that whole thing with my spike camp, and then just took off with this little bum bag. It's pretty basic, but it's really comfy. Surprisingly, being that it's got no padding here, it sits really good across the waist. You've still got that nice clips, the same as the other, same as these guys, where you can customize, so you can grab your pouches off your main bag and slip them over. And in addition, you've got another little zipper pouch in the thing here, so muesli bars and stuff like that. That's a good little spot to place them. So yeah, that's a nice addition if you're going to pay for the shipping and get it all over. I made the mistake of not grabbing it the first time. I wish I did. So yeah, it's worth looking at grabbing the muley as well. I think the other thing they have is called a pod, which is similar to this, but just piggybacks onto the outside of your bag. So if you're going to go the optics pack and you want to do a little bit more long range, that could be a good option. Grab the optics pack with the pod, or the optics pack with this, and that'll give you a bit more volume.